Children, let us continue the story quality. We stopped there in page number 27. Till now, we read about the Gessler brothers, and the narrator describes them as they are uh, very good in making quality shoes, and the narrator admired their shoemaking. In the beginning of the story itself, he says that their art of shoemaking as incarnating the very spirit of all footwear, and he also admires their um, beautiful shoes which are made by them. And he says that he feels and he felt also that such a beautiful shoes could only be made by the artist who had seen the very soul of the shoes, and who even seemed to dreams of boots. So these people always they seem to dream of boots only. All that dream of them. So where in the world people may have many dreams, but these people, the narrator feels that they always dream of boots and shoes. Their dream is also filled with um, shoes and boots only. Such a full dedicated towards their fully dedicated towards their work. And this is what we have come to know from the narration of the story writer. Now here, he whenever he went to give order to those people to make shoes, he had an experience with these people, and some of the experience what he had with them he is mentioning here. Once when he went to order of shoe, he is asking him that, I would say, how do you do, Mr. Gessler? Could you make me a pair of Russian leather boots? There we stop. And without a word, he would leave me, retiring whence he came out into the other portion of the shop, and I would continue to rest in the wooden chair, inhaling the incense of his trade. So whenever he goes there, he has to wait for a long. That's what he said. So once it happened, once he went and asked for Russia leather shoes be made, and that younger brother, without a word, he will just listen what the customer says, and without a word he will retiring, he will go back from where he has come. That means go to the other part of the shop or other portion of the shop, and would continue to rest in, he has to, the customer should, that means the narrator would sit there and waiting for him coming back, and inhaling the incense of, incense means the flavor and the smell of the leather in the his trade. What is his trade? His business is making shoes out of leather. So the shop is filled with the incense of the leather. So he will just inhale the smell of the leather and waiting there. Soon he would come back. So after, immediately he come, the younger brother comes back, and holding in his thin vein hand a piece of gold brown leather. So he will carry, as he has ordered for a Russia leather shoe, so he will carry a leather piece of leather, and with eyes fixed on it. When he comes also, see every line the narrator describes that how the shoemakers, that the Gessler brothers were fully contact with the things which they were using. So when he walks with the piece of leather, he will not see here and there. Always he looks into that, and he will turn the leather and looks into that with eyes fixed on it. He would remark, what a beautiful piece, piece means piece. So he will admire the leather piece. When I too had admired. So not only he admires, and when the customer admires, see that how much that they will check it, the mind of the, they will read the mind of the customers. So when the a customer also admires, that means the narrator also admires the leather, immediately he would speak again. Till then he will not say a single word. So he will read the mind of the customer, what type of reaction, what is the reaction of the customer towards the leather which he is carrying. So do they have idea about it? Are they admiring the quality of the leather? So he will keep checking it. Once the customer, that means the narrator, admires, immediately he speaks again. When do you want them? So he will come to know that the customer is also interested to buy the shoe which will be made out of this leather which he is carrying in his hands. Immediately he will ask that, when do you want them? So want them, so want them. So he will put a question before the customer, and I would answer, the narrator will answer that, oh, as soon as you conveniently can, as soon as you make it. So as soon as you keep it ready, and whenever you are finishing it or completing the work, I will. So and he would say, he will fix the day. So what, how many days he takes to make, see, tomorrow fortnight. Fortnight means fortnight. So wherever T comes, they pronounce the word D. So this is a accent of German people. So tomorrow fortnight, that means two weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks means 15 days, after 15 days. Or if he were his elder brother, if the younger brother gets the order from the narrator, he will fix the day. And because he is the one who is going to make it. So if the elder brother gets the order from the narrator, what he would say? He would say that, I will ask my brother. So I will ask my brother. So this is the way these two brothers together cooperated, and they were making the shoes and getting the order like that. So many times the narrator met them, and sometimes the younger brother deals with the matter, sometimes the elder brother. Then I would murmur. Then the narrator will say, thank you, good morning, Mr. Gessler, good morning. Who would reply, still looking at the leather. See, again and again the narrator is giving us the quality of the shoemaker. What is the quality characteristic? He will not take his eyes from the leather. His eyes will be fixed in the leather. That means they are fully concentrated on the work only. So when the narrator says the good morning, bye bye, before he wants to leave, he will say some good morning or something. So he will just reply, still looking at the leather in his hand. And as I moved to the door, I would hear the tip tap of his best slippers restoring him up the stairs to his dream of boots. So without wasting time, these are the qualities. So here in this lesson, two ways we are being taught, like both a good value for a coin is both a side it should be. Now a coin has a value when both the side is correct. That means a coin has two sides. Like here, the two things are concentrated in this story. One is the quality of the shoes which they were making, and the quality characteristics. Their characteristics are very good. They are having a good quality in them. They are good quality people. So still they are concentrating on their work only. Immediately, without wasting his time. After sending the customer down, immediately he is going up. That means they will go to the other portion of the shop which has a staircase which is made of wood. So when he is climbing up that sound it comes. But if it were some new kind of footgear that he had not yet made me, then indeed he would observe ceremony divesting me of my boot and holding it long in his hand, looking at it with eyes at once critical and loving. as if recalling the glow with which he had created it, and rebuking the way in which one had disorganized this masterpiece. See again the quality of the shoemakers. But if it were some new kind of footwear that he had not yet made me, then indeed he would observe. So, what he will do in a customary way, regular way, and a customary ceremony means, observe ceremony means in a customary way, taking me off my boot and holding it long in his hand, and then he will recalling when he was making that, what type of leather he used, and everything he will see that, and then placing my foot on a piece of paper, he would 2 or 3 times tickle the outer edges with a pencil and pass his nervous fingers over my toes, feeling himself into the heart of my requirements. So if the thing he wants it to measure means, he will take a measurement of the narrator's foot. So such a weak figure he had when he is making the taking the measurement by drawing the outline of the foot of the narrator. His hands go shaking, so tickling, and like that he will make that marking of the foot. I cannot forget the day on which I had occasion to say him, Mr. Gessler, this last pair of town walking boots creaked, you know. So once the narrator was giving a measurement for making a new boot, and when he was taking the measurement, and by mistake I cannot forget the day on which I had occasion to say him. So like that he has said that, Mr. Gessler, that last pair of town walking boots creaked, you know. So he was just reminding the shoemaker that the last time what I ordered and what you made creaked. It started bursting. The leather was not good. In that way, he just told him. And here, see, when the good people are checked, they feel very, they will be touched in a deeper heart, like that. He always careful in making the shoes and using the leather. And if anybody comes with complaint of the leather, immediately the younger Gessler brothers feel very bad. What a mistake I did, like that. So when he said that, he looked at me for a time without replying, as if expecting me to withdraw or qualify the statement, then said. So he was complaining about the shoe, which walking boots creaked, and when he heard that word creaked, he didn't like it, and he was waiting for the narrator to take back. Sorry, I said wrongly, and maybe like my mistake, like that. He wanted the word to be taken back, but I shouldn't have. It shouldn't have creaked. So creak, C they pronounce as G and T as D. So it shouldn't have creaked. It should not. The leather which I use never has that kind of quality. That's what his expression. It did. I'm afraid. So when the narrator said, no, sir, it did. It creaked. So when he was saying he had that fear, what? Something went wrong? You got them wet before they found themselves. So before it creaked, and the shoemaker was telling the narrator that you must have wet them, or you got them wet. So it must have got wet. That's why it is creaked. That's what he wanted to say. I don't think so. So the narrator says, no, sir, I'm very careful in that. I don't think that it has got wet. And at that, he lowered his eyes. Till then, he wanted the answer back from the narrator. Once he confirmed that, no, sir, it is not my mistake, it is the mistake of the leather only. So, when he confirmed it, immediately he put the ice down. That is feeling guilty, as if hunting for memory of those words, and I felt sorry I had mentioned this grave thing. So immediately he will recollect which leather it was, from where I have got, what was the wrong in that leather, everything as if he was recollecting. And the meantime, the narrator would say that I felt sorry I had mentioned this grave thing. So that narrator would feel that he said that word, he uttered that word, that is his mistake. He should have not told that to that quality shoemakers. So send them back, he said. I will look at them. So still he is having the doubt how it could have done. So they were so confident in their work. It should not. Never I make like that, Never I do mistake. They were so confident and what you can say, conscious about their work. So immediately he will say that, send them back. I will look at them. And a feeling of compassion for my creaking boots surged up in me. So well could I imagine the sorrowful long curiosity of regard which he would bend on them. So immediately the narrator will feel that creaking boots burst up in me. So that comes up in the narrator's heart, that so how much compassion they had for their work. So, how it had happened, why it had happened. I put my effort and I took time to choose the leather and everything he will feel. And soon, some boots, he said slowly, are bad from birth. Some boots, so Z लिखा है, so Z is there, it is sir sound. Some boots, he said slowly, are bad from birth. So by birth, when it is made, that time itself some boots will go wrong. If I can do nothing with them, I take them off your bill. So the Jesla brother will say that I will try to repair it. So see that he wants to rectify. That is the quality of a good people. So he will say that I will try to make it perfect. If it is not be done, then I will return your money. Once, again, one more thing. Once only, that means I went absent-mindedly. Again, some other thing. First, he said that how the people, Gessler brothers are so confident in their work, and if any complaint comes, they feel very bad, and they were ready to rectify the customer's loss. That is the quality. Now, once again, once what happened, only once he went, always the narrator goes to his shop, to their shop, with the boots which are made by them only. So always he wear those boots which are made by the Gessler brothers whenever he goes to the shop to give order. But once what happened, by mistake, in absent-mindedly, he went into his shop wearing the other shoes which are not made by these people. So a pair of boots bought in an emergency. Yeah, the boots which he bought because of some emergency at some large firms in a branded shop, some branded shop. He bought a boots, and that boot he bought it. He took my order without showing me any leather, and I could feel his eyes penetrating the inferior integument of my foot. At last he said, so he took my As usual, he came and he just took the order. Otherwise, what he does, he goes and bring the leather and get the admiration, acceptance of the customer or the narrator. Then only he says. This time, what he did, he just took the order and those are not my words. After taking the order, he was pointing out the shoes which the narrator was wearing, and he says that the shoes which you are wearing is not made by me. And the tone was not one of anger, nor of sorrow, not even of contempt, but there was in something quiet that froze the blood. So the way he said that those were not made by me. So that was not contempt or not sorrow, not anger, but something froze the blood. That means something, the way he say it in a mocking manner, bothered the narrator. He put his hand down and not only he pointed out, immediately he bent down and put his hand and pressed a finger on the place where the left side boot, left leg's foot boot, and enduring to be fashionable was not quite comfortable. So that was a fashionable shoe what he was wearing. And immediately he put a finger there and he says that it hurts you there. It hurts you there, but it is hurting you there. So this is the place you are getting hurt. So he pointed out that those big firms have no self-respect, trash. And then, as if something had given way within him, he spoke long and bitterly. So immediately he expressed his uh, bitterness, or you can say that those people who are very evil minded, they don't have any respect, and they just draw the people from the shops where they are buying. That means what? It was the only time I ever heard him discuss the conditions and hardships of his trade. So he expressed how we work hard to make the shoes, but these um, industry people or the branded shoes people and all the big firms, big company people will just snatch the customers from us. So the way he was talking something bad about others and expressing his own hardship. So never he expressed his own work, the burden of his work. Here he said. So there we stop, and what else he talks about the firm, we'll continue in the next class.